Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hello to you too, Julie. Thank you. All right, am I close enough? Right here? Okay. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. My name is Elisa. I'm going to be your MC today. I'm pleased to welcome those here in our community center and those joining on Facebook Live and YouTube to Kansas City Oasis. Since 2014, Oasis has been the premier secular alternative to faith-based communities. We welcome all regardless of beliefs or non-belief, race, gender, sexual orientation, identity, or any other trait. We feel the human experience is best when it is shared, and we are so pleased that you have chosen to share it with us this morning. Here at Oasis, we gather around our 5 core values. First, that people are more important than beliefs. Second, reality is known through reason. Third, human hands solve human problems. Fourth, that meaning comes from making a difference. And finally, be accepting and be accepted. So for today's program, our advertised featured speaker, Ron, has laryngitis this week, unfortunately. So we have an alternate speaker today. We have Gary Blakely on the motorcycle world. And then for musical guest, we have Strawberry. Welcome back. And then for our community moment, we have Julie Samuel-Lamberd. So Strawberry is a non-binary and autistic musician local to the Kansas City area. They are passionate about mental health and human rights, and this reflects in their music and extends beyond it as well. Their goal is to connect with others and help them feel less alone. So on that note, please give a warm Oasis welcome to Strawberry.
Hello everyone, I'm Strawberry. I'm your local non-binary and autistic musician. And yeah, I'm gonna play a few songs. This first one is called Hold My Breath Until Sunday. And I wrote this song whenever we first heard about, well, it wasn't the first ceasefire, but there was a ceasefire a couple months ago. And it was on a Sunday. And this song was about my fear and hope for things to get better for the family that I'm sponsoring in that area. And, you know, as many of you might know, the ceasefire is no longer in effect, and things have gotten much worse. It's very difficult to access food. And so that is what my tip jar up here. I have a QR code, and I'm not actually sure where they got that QR code, but it's probably the same one for their GoFundMe. So anyway, that's what this song is about. The sustain, isn't it? I'm so sorry, I did not notice until now that the sustain doesn't work, but we're gonna go anyway. Just hold my breath until Sunday, 'cause that's when the war's supposed to end. I never thought that we'd make it, that my friends would see this till the end. And I know there's still time, there's still bombs going off, but I hope they survive till the end. I'll just hold my breath until Sunday, 'cause that's when the war's supposed to end. I can't tell you how alone I feel. They say it's too far, it's out of our control. And I feel so small, like I can't help at all. So I'll hold my breath until Sunday, 'cause that's when the war's supposed to end. I never thought that we'd make it, that my friends would see this till the end. And I know there's still time, there's still bombs going off, but I hope they survive till the end. I'll just hold my breath until Sunday, 'cause that's when the war's supposed to end. I can't tell you how alone I feel, reaching out and finding only silence. 'Cause people can just choose to look away, but for me it's never really a choice at all. So I'll hold my breath until Sunday, 'cause that's when the war's supposed to end. I never thought that we'd make it, that my friends would see this till the end. And I know there's still time, there's still bombs going off, but I hope they survive till the end. I'll just hold my breath until Sunday, 'cause that's when the war's supposed to end. I'll just hold my breath until Sunday, 'cause that's when the war's supposed to end. I promise not all my songs are depressing, but this next song. This mic really likes to slip. This next song is also a little heavy. It's about the experience of having intrusive thoughts, whether anxiety or PTSD or OCD. I know there are a lot of people who can relate to this. And for that, I am sorry, but you're not alone. If I give up, say it's too much. lost my brain, but I feel like I'm dirt. And I know they're intrusive, but it doesn't make it easier. If I give up, say it's too much, I'll never know the other side. I feel like I can't win no matter what I do. I hate it here inside my head, I wanna make it stop. I know they'll always be there in the background. I know I'll always have to push them down now. But if I can feel the way I feel and have these thoughts I feel aren't real, then I think I can find a way to live now. And I know they're intrusive, but it doesn't make it easier. If I give up, say it's too much, I'll never know the other side. I feel like I can't win no matter what I do. I hate it here inside my head, I wanna make it stop.
Thank you. And strawberry and bees. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh, that was truly wonderful. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I felt like I needed that. Like, it's so depressing. And I'm like, dude, the world is depressing. Bring some humanity to it. Thank you. Ooh, all right. So we have a few birthdays this week. Thursday, July 31st. I'm trying to remember. It's Autumn Weiniger? Winiger. And then, let's see, it's the Saturday, Susanna Brunn. Let's see, Autumn here? Nope, Autumn and Susanna not here today? Okay, I was told that, oh shoot, I just lost him. Someone informed me a moment ago that it was his birthday sometime this month. Bill, who is sitting right next to you. Okay, Bill Bully, okay. Anyone else have birthday, anything this month that we don't know about, or this week? Oh, all right. Happy birthday! Well, oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody say hello to Amy from the Netherlands this coffee break. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say that having only 2 birthdays is like, well, that makes them extra special. I feel like now this 3rd one makes it especially special. Ooh, all right. And then our volunteer of the week, we wanted to give a shout out to Molly Bindle. Molly is our tried and true childcare volunteer. She's been our childcare volunteer since Oasis returned to in-person gatherings. So Molly brought childcare to the board's attention as being an important component of our gatherings. Oh my gosh, thank you, Molly. As we emerged from quarantine, Molly has been an eager volunteer for childcare ever since. So we appreciate you, Molly. And is Molly in here, or is Molly? Yep, she's never gonna see her because she's always hiding. So she definitely needs the appreciation, guys. Oh, yes. And speaking of great volunteers, Speaking of great volunteers, we are always looking for more to round out our committees and to assist with our weekly Sunday gatherings. In the lobby near the drink station, you'll see these boxes. Please pick a card you can help with from the Need Help box. When you complete the task, place it in the All Done box. So it's pretty intuitive. I genuinely love this system so much. It's like so easy. You can just grab one and it's like, do exactly this thing, and you can just hold on to it while you work on it. And just many hands make light work. I'm sorry. I love this thing so much, I want to go on about it. Blue cards are intended for weekly tasks. White cards are for monthly tasks. If you love this secular community, help us out, keep it going. Ooh. And then we are looking for someone to volunteer to make coffee on the first Sunday of each month. If you want coffee next Sunday, please sign up. Contact Julie Manning if you're interested, or scan this code. Nope, oh no. It's like, Okay, we'll make sure you know, you'll see Julie normally. Yeah, send her a message. Ooh. And then KC Fringe. This building has been a host for 5 different Fringe Festival shows, starting on July 18th. We want to thank everyone who has made it a success, including Sarah, multiple board members, the Mendons for making the barbecue pulled pork, Terry for being the technical resource, and all of the volunteers who helped with the concessions table. This event is a big fundraiser for Oasis. Thank you again. And then speaking of which, today at 2 p.m. is the final show for the performance that had the most attendance during its run. John Bennett's How I Learned to Hug has this honor. John is here from Australia to share his hilarious stories. Also be aware that the content is rated R for language and mature content. There are pulled pork sliders in the lobby for lunch and tickets, and tickets go on sale at 1:30 if you want to stay and see the show. Oh, and then right before that, okay, so today after Oasis is the book club. Reminder that since we're going to be taking up like Fringe Fest and everything in here, we'll be meeting at Prospero's Books. I'm told it's Prospero's, not Prospero's. It's at 1:30. Yep, exactly. So it's 2 blocks north of here, as KC Oasis is hosting Fringe Fest winner of Best in Venue Encore show after Oasis today, as we just said. The book is Clara and the Sun. If you have read it, you are welcome to join. If you have not read it, you're gonna be real confused what the heck Capaldi was doing, so I wouldn't recommend it. Ooh, and then tomorrow, join us to watch and sing along to our favorite musicals. Bring your own food and drink and comfy seating, and it is in here. So you can just again, you bring your own lawn chair or something, or you enjoy the chairs in here. I'd bring your own chair, it's more fun. Then we will start the movie at 6 p.m. This month is Les Mis or Les Miserables. Do not say the last L-E-S, it's weird. And then this Thursday, July 31st, is going to be game night from 7 until 9 p.m. Bring your favorite board games. There's going to be board games, but please, we love the fresh blood. And bring a snack to share as well. Let's roll the dice, shuffle the cards, make some great memories together. Ooh, and then we got the second annual rummage sale, August 7th, 8, 9. That is the Thursday through Saturday. We still need our donated items for our second annual rummage sale in August. We're looking for items of value in good condition that you're looking to part ways with. Please bring your items next Sunday, since the sale is the following week. No clothes or books, please. We got a library, you can donate books there. We got other ways of donating clothes. This is different. And then we need your help. Speaking of the rummage sale, August 7th, 8th, and 9th, we need your help next Sunday, August 3rd, and immediately after our Sunday gathering to help us carry the large amount of donated items being stored in the basement up the stairs for the sale. We can accomplish the big task in a short amount of time with lots of help. Many hands, light work, guys. Oh. We'll feed you too, if you didn't hear. Ooh, all right, I like the slide there, oh. The Swingsters are proud to present a 4-week beginner Charleston series. Join us starting August 12th and Tuesdays for 4 weeks for a beginner-friendly yet progressive dive into the Charleston line dance. This class does not require a partner to participate. The class will consist of a 45-minute instructor-led session followed by a 15-minute practice period. While this class will remain beginner-friendly, it will be progressive, so plan to join us for all 4 weeks if you can. And it's $15 per class. Ooh, okay. And then community moments. Community moments are an opportunity for a member of our community to present on a topic of their choice during a Sunday gathering. Topics can be related to your profession, hobbies, travel experiences, volunteer experiences, etc. So basically, if you miss show and tell from when you were a kid, it's still going on here. So yeah, and it's great. It's like there's so many things I'm gonna say that I've been like, oh, I wouldn't share that. That's like, everyone would find that boring. And then someone presents an experience or something of their own that's similar, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting, because guess what? Humans like hearing about other human stories. So you are so welcome. We're gonna be so interested, I promise. So then, sign up on kcoasis.org or talk to Roger Pick. All right. And now, without further ado, the community moment of the day of the week, pardon me. We've got Julie Samuel-Lamberd. The 3 words to describe herself are so very tired. We love you, Julie. And then if she had a warning label, it would be safety first. All right.
Thank you, Elisa. Now since I am so very tired, I'm gonna try to remember what I sent Jason for slides. Here we go. So who was here for my fascinating talk on ergonomics recently? Yes. This is gonna touch on another aspect of my environmental health and safety recent past. As you might have remembered from that, I do hold a certification in environmental health and safety. Did that for a career for about 4 years during the pandemic. Now doing something completely different. That being said, when we had Fringe, when we were working with them to get set up this year, they said to us, oh, if you could give us your emergency and safety regulations for the building, that'd be great. And we were like, yeah, that would be great. That would be real great. And so we went and looked them up. They did exist. But guess what? They were for the Uptown Theater. And we haven't been there for, I don't know, since 2019. Time is hard. So yeah, since the pandemic, these had not been updated. So I was able to use my my trade to sort of update that. And so this is going to be kind of a little bit of housekeeping, but then hopefully some helpful takeaways. So this is the first floor of our building. Here it is. We are sitting, it's marked up for something different, but as you can see, let's see. The pointer, is this the pointer? Here we go. So this is where I am, right here. I just want to point out that we do have 3 exits here, and you'll see these icons that indicate our fire extinguisher, and also the 2 first aid kits, one in the restroom and one in that counter kind of by where we make coffee. There is another emergency exit, but trust me, it will really be an emergency because it's kind of a storage room right now, so don't go there unless you absolutely have to. So that's what happens here on the first floor in case of a fire or an evacuation emergency. We'd ask you to just sort of familiarize yourself with these things. We do have exit signs. If you look to your left and you look to my left and your right and my right and your left, you will see that we do have signs. And they do glow in the dark, which is kind of cool. So if our power went out and you still need to get out, you'd be able to. Okay, here's something that was not on our original emergency plan. Our tornado shelter location. In the Uptown, we were up on the 2nd floor, and I don't know what we necessarily would have done in a tornado. We have had the sirens go off this year, so this is kind of a new piece to our plan. You'll see that these are in number of preference. So location 1 here, it would be our first preference. This is down, if you go like back to this exit, to my left and your left at this point when I'm turned around, and go down these stairs and enter into our basement area, you would need to go down into that larger open room. The reason that this is selected is because in this section here, between where the kitchen wall ends and where you come into that room, there is no exposure to windows and doors in that area, so that's why it's our first choice. Our second choice there are some windows at ground level, but it's still, quite safe, and the same with the third. There are a few little breeze block windows here, but the safest locations. Again, we have 2 exits and an emergency exit from this level out past the kitchen, back up the stairs over here to that exit. And again, 1 more emergency exit only. You might have to fight off some spiders if you go that way, but it'll be worth it if you really need to get out. And then you see our placement of our 2 fire extinguishers there. Who knew we had an upstairs? Who's been up there? Oh my gosh, it's hot up there. You feel like you could spontaneously combust up there, but hopefully that will not happen. If you go up the stairs back here, this exit indicates that if you were in this portion of it, that you would go towards the stairs. That's all that means. And because it's so darn hot, there are 2 fire extinguishers up there, just in case. Do not go into the attic. Thank you very much. You have to enter it from the ceiling, so please just go ahead and don't be there. Once you exit from one of these exits, you will see these blue assembly areas. So all these areas in blue are in case of an evacuation where we would like you to go. As far as possible away from the building, especially for our friends that need the accessibility ramp, we would ask as far as possible away from the building, but still in the parking lot here. The front corners of our lot here, and just depending on how things are going, even across the street right here, we would like that to be the places where people assemble, just so we can sort of regroup and make sure that everyone has made it out of the building safely. So that's your little housekeeping safety briefing for this building. But I'd like you to think about, what does this look like at your house? When I was doing environmental health and safety, it was for a 85% remote workforce, but it was still my responsibility to make sure that they were thinking about these things. Can you tell me where in your house is your fire extinguisher? Kitchen. Good call. That's where one of mine is too, because of course I have to have more than one, or I got to practice what I preach, right? I would suggest, and for the kitchen, it's important that you have a fire extinguisher rated for grease fires. There is a difference. So that is one thing I would ask you to do as sort of a piece of homework is, do you have a grease fire rated fire extinguisher or a fire blanket that you can keep close to that source of ignition? That's really important. Something else that I think that we don't think about, and I didn't until I kind of started doing this job, what are your exits in your house, regardless of the what layer of your house you're in? If you're in the basement, on the first floor, is there an exit from your basement that doesn't require you coming upstairs that you can go? I mean, if you have a walkout, just kind of be mindful of, and especially if you have small kids, let's think about and talk about, okay, if something happens, this is how we get out of our house, and also the importance of these assembly areas. Because it can be really scary when stuff like this happens. And so the more we can think about it and practice it before it happens, and think about, okay, if we get separated, we're gonna go stand in the next door neighbor's yard, or we're going to stand way back in the backyard by, on this concrete slab, I don't know, something that won't burn. Has anybody done this at their house? Okay, great. Good job. You win the gold star. Congratulations. Okay. So since that is the case, that I got one hand on that. 2. I'm so sorry. I was looking over here. 2. So 2 out of a number. So I think it's something that a lot of times we don't want to think about, but forewarned is forearmed, I think is the saying that goes with that. So please think those things through. Another thing that I like to talk about is thinking about smoke detectors. Traditionally, and especially for like the folks that were remote workers, we would ask them at daylight savings time, if they lived in a country that had daylight savings time, that we would ask everybody to check their batteries and their smoke detectors. I know a lot of them are hardwired anymore, but I live in a 1955 house and it is not, none of that is happening there. So it's just important that, you know, once a year you're testing those, and or cook something just too damn hot and open your oven door. I mean, that usually works at my house, right? Like, oh, okay, yeah, that still works, perfect. Along that line, on the fire prevention side, there is one of my pet peeves, if you know me, is a little thing called daisy chaining. Any idea about daisy chaining? Plugging extension cords into extension cords, or plugging extension cords into power strips. Please don't do that. That is a really good way to not only create a trip hazard, but also a point of ignition for fires sometimes. And again, I'm very tired. I don't remember what else I was going to say. I feel like there was something else. Oh, I know what it was. So our safety plans will be available. After I said this, I'm like, I don't think we actually printed that out. They will be available. We will have them. I think we'll put a copy at the greeter table that has all this information, as well as, you know, what to do in other emergencies. Say there is an active assailant, and I'll add a trigger warning. You know, there could be a dangerous something that happens. The directions that we give for that, and I think you may have heard this before if you've still work in an office building or have worked in an office building any time in the last 5 or so years, that we sort of follow the run, hide, and I think it is now freeze. So a few things you can do. First of all, if you are able to get out of the building, if there's an active assailant, that would be the first choice. Hide if you can. And then the next one is play dead, unfortunately. And then fight would be the last resort. So if if we get to that sort of situation, but that's just something I want to bring up. If there is a disruption here during Sunday gathering, we would ask that you find a member of the board. There's usually a few of us here, and we will try to de-escalate the situation. I think we've had maybe 1 or 2 instances here where we've had to use those practices to de-escalate someone that, you know, I don't think had harmful intent, but was just very anxious and worked up. And so those are just a few things to know. If you don't know haven't met one of the board members, just ask, you know, somebody at the greeters table should be able to point one of us out if you're having a, me. That'd be me. If you're having something like that going on. Jason, how am I doing? I can stop anytime. I can keep going. Okay. I think just in summary, I would think, you know, we value our lives. I think that a lot of times, being part of a secular humanist organization, we understand that the life that we have now is a life worth living. And I think just putting a little extra effort into some things like health and safety, not the most exotic and sexy of topics, but I feel like it's incumbent upon me to, you know, as much as I've gotten to see and experience in this field, I just want all of us to just give it a little bit of thought, because unfortunately, not that long ago, we did lose a member of our community to a house fire. And I cry at everything that happens here, but that one especially, you know, it just seemed so preventable. And so I think that's why that hits so close to home. And I would encourage all of you to, you know, think through the steps of where you're putting flammable things in your home, and just, you know, do some prevention, some proactive things to make sure that I get to see your faces for many, many years to come. Okay, thank you. Thank you, somebody.
I did not know that. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. So we're getting set up for our coffee break. During the coffee break, be sure to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Promise you there's plenty of people who don't know you and don't know what they're missing. Also be sure to see the TV above the center doors in the lobby for more Oasis announcements, even more that even I cannot list. And we'll see you back here in 20 minutes. Check, 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 check. Hear ye, the coffee break is coming to its close. If we did not get a chance to have coffee or speak to someone new, you have just been saved by the bell. You don't have to drink coffee now. All right, let's welcome back another, let's welcome back Strawberry for another song, guys.
Hello. How many of you like love songs? Have you ever heard a gender-neutral love song before? Then you're about to. Is there any way we can, the sustain only works sometimes. I'm not sure what it takes to get that, but I would love if the sustain, that's okay, if not. I'm scared of the dark when they're gone, and I'm losing my mind missing them. I wanna be next to them, I wanna wake up to them, 'cause when they walk into the room, oh, they light up my view. It's hard to write a love song when we're going through hell. It's one thing then another, so I crawl into my shell. But I know you'll be there for me as I'll be there for you. You can always call my name and I'll say, what can I do? I'm scared of the dark when they're gone, and I'm losing my mind missing them. I wanna be next to them, I wanna wake up to them, 'cause when they walk into the room, oh, they light up my view. When I get home, all I wanna do is fall into your arms. Yeah, you're on my mind, 'cause all this pain is weighing us down. The world just isn't meant for us, so we'll have to make it be. I'll fight the world every day if I have to. You're so precious to me. Mm-hmm. I'm scared of the dark when they're gone, and I'm losing my mind missing them. I wanna be next to them, I wanna wake up to them, 'cause when they walk into the room, oh, they light up my So sorry.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. This time, ready for our presentation today. Speaker disclaimer. Our program is designed to generate conversation and engage our powers of reason, not as a forum to start debates. The following presentation has been prepared by our speaker and not by KC Oasis. Please respect the views of our speaker, and if you have any questions, a Q&A portion will follow. So today we have Gary Blakely. Gary Blakely spent his entire adult life in the transportation industry as an occupation and as a hobby. He retired from Ford Motor Company as a field service engineer. His hobbies include volunteering at Kansas City Oasis, and riding his motorcycle. At last tally, over 200,000 miles. Dude. So let's welcome up Gary.
All right. Am I on? Okay, good. Isn't she doing a great job as MC? Yeah. All right. Let's see here. So you think you want to ride a motorcycle? Well, maybe not. They're a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun riding motorcycles. I'll give you some of the history a little bit. This is our little bit of an overview, origins, historical development, and cars versus motorcycles, and Harley-Davidson, and motorcycles in society and culture, and safety. This could be considered the first motorcycle. This is a steam engine powered, basically bicycle. Back around the time this was made in 1868, bicycles had wooden wheels, wooden spokes, and you didn't actually have a pedals that you could pedal with your feet. You just kind of walked the bike forward. Well, someone decided, well, let's put an engine on that. So this is known as the Roper, and they never made more than one, so I don't know if you want to call that the first motorcycle or not, but when they finally started developing small gasoline engines, well, that led to the Daimler Reitwagen and the Benz patent motor wagon. Now that obviously that's got 3 wheels on the Benz patent motor wagon, so they were both being developed about the same time. So it's hard to say which came first, the Reitwagen or the motor wagon. But the Benz patent motor wagon actually went into production. They made several of them, so it was kind of more noteworthy for motorized transportation. Kind of an interesting side note, Carl Benz's wife, Bertha, took one of these and drove it 60 miles with her 2 sons for the first long-distance trip ever in a motorized gasoline-powered vehicle. So it's kind of historically significant. But so that brings us to, we got a Harley-Davidson pictured here. Notice, if you can, if I can find the, oh gosh, I should have practiced. There we go. See the pedals there? Still very bicycle looking, and you actually use those pedals to start the engine, and then you you get rolling. So still very much like a bicycle. This Harley cost in 1913 $235, which adjusted for inflation, that might seem like maybe kind of a lot of money. It's probably more than a horse would cost. Again, you pedal it to start, but then you know what changed things for the motorcycle industry was the Model T. By the time over its production life, the Model T's price dropped to $260, the lowest price the Model T ever was. So which one are you going to buy? A one-passenger motorcycle for $235 or a car that can hold more than one person or up to maybe 4 or 5? So the Model T just turned the whole motorcycle industry into something for recreation. People bought them just to kind of take a nice Sunday drive and have fun. And this is a picture then of a motorcycle club in New York. And you see that's quite a large gathering, but that's probably, based on what I'm seeing of the motorcycles, they're probably in the night. Actually, it says June 16 and 17, 1918. So they've already started developing clubs. It's just, again, more about recreation than transportation, at least in the United States. I mean, the Model T was scaled up. They built 15 million of them, so motorcycles really didn't stand a chance. That's what brought the price down, was to be able to scale up like that. So now, this is what the kind of recreation that we see. You're seeing about 3 of the options: motocross, road racing, and adventure touring. And the next one, which I think is kind of interesting, is kind of amazing, is trials. And notice here, this is a woman who is world champion in trials. What trials is you're navigating your motorcycle around and up and down obstacles. You're penalized if you put your foot down. You have to stay balanced the whole time, otherwise you're penalized for putting a foot down, and they do. But she is now, I'm going to play a video and let you see what trials looks like.
Wherever she goes, stuck between a rock and a hard place in an uphill battle. But that's never a barrier for Emma Bristow, who's redefining what is possible on a motorbike. These are the skills that have made her a global superstar in the sport of motorcycle trials, already an 8-time world champion.
Yeah, pretty incredible. The first one was probably the hardest, but then it's carrying on every year, because you're never satisfied with just that one. I was always one. Oh, let's go for another one.
Emma started out riding on the family farm in Lincolnshire when she was little. Rather different, the flat landscape there, to the mountainous, rocky terrain in the hills near Barcelona, going up rock faces that many climbers would be worried about, let alone doing it on a 300cc motorbike with all that power in your hands.
There's times where I've been scared, where I've been like jumping up a cliff face and you don't want to look left because there's a really big drop. But that's all part of the buzz of competition, and yeah, and just feeling at one with the bike, really.
The new season starts next week with an indoor competition in Spain. Then it's to the great outdoors again, and another chance to relish the rocky road ahead. Mike Bushell for BBC News in the hills near Barcelona. Defying gravity.
Let's see, there we go. Isn't that amazing? The balance, the skill to do that. I try that when I come to a stop on my motorcycle, but I'm not nearly as well balanced as she is. So anyway, motocross, that's one of the other ones I highlighted already. I call it learning to slide, because you're racing in dirt, and that's how you handle the motorcycle. Since you only have 2 tires, traction becomes real critical. Cars don't fall over when the tires skid. Motorcycles kind of do, so that's a good thing to learn. A way to learn or get started is to ride dirt motorcycles. Notice that this motorcycle is strictly off-road. There's no headlight, there's no taillight. It's just for racing out in the woods and on dirt roads. Road racing. These guys run over 200 miles an hour. Some of these bikes have more horsepower than a lot of cars on the road. And they're leaning over this far. Notice that That's his leg on the seat right there. He's hanging off so he can lean the bike. It doesn't have to lean the bike so far over that a hard part would drag and you'd lose control. They're not crashing, they're racing, and they're probably around that corner, probably doing over 100 miles an hour. So you talk about, that's pretty exciting stuff, I think. The next thing we have that's becoming very popular is adventure touring. And what I've highlighted here is, or the picture here is of a BMW. They're kind of accredited with opening up this, making this popular. If you notice, this bike kind of looks like that motocross bike, except this one has headlights and mirrors and things. It's street legal. So you can ride this on the street legally. You can go off-road, find the dirt roads, things like that, and have a lot of fun. Again, this is becoming more and more popular. You see a lot of these, now this bike is stripped down, but you see a lot of these bikes with great big saddlebags and bedrolls, things like that. In fact, I've kind of taken this up myself. The one on the left, that's my loaded up KLR 650 Kawasaki with my sleeping bag and tent and my helmet and everything else. And it took me to the Arctic Circle. And I didn't ship the bike there. I rode it from Kansas City all the way to the Arctic Circle. And then that same bike took me to Ushuaia, Argentina, the southernmost city in the world. And I forgot my razor. It just left it behind, you know. This happens, you know. You can't pack everything, right? All right, and let's see. Now, if you want to get a feel for what this is like, I highly recommend you go to YouTube and look up Itchy Boots. She is a Dutch adventure touring rider. She has ridden all over the world. Her first trip was to go to India, buy a motorcycle, and ride it back to Holland. She was going north in South America as I was going south towards Ushuaia. And then her trip kind of got interrupted by COVID, but still, she's been all over Africa, and like I said, through Iran and Iraq. She even recently went to Yemen, the parts that are not in conflict. She went to Yemen, and they wouldn't let her bring her motorcycle in, but once they got to know her, they provided her with a motorcycle so she could tour around. So she's just a delightful person. She does great job with the editing of her videos on YouTube. She does drones that are flying above and following her through these gorgeous, beautiful valleys and mountains and all kinds of scenic terrain. I highly recommend just watch a little bit of it. She's quite the world citizen. She just gets along with everyone. She's very disarming, and really touched my heart. She's got like 2.84 million subscribers, 735 videos, and in the comments section, I asked her to marry me, and I haven't heard back yet. It's been 6 months. She's got a lot of comments to read before she can get to mine. So, all right, now we're going to talk about safety and technology. We now have anti-lock braking systems, and that's important on a motorcycle because, if you're driving your car and you lock up the brakes, the car just kind of skids. You lose your steering, you might go off the road, but with a motorcycle, you lock up the front wheel in particular, you're going down. Ask me how I know. Yeah. They also have traction control, so it'll control keep the rear wheel from spinning from too much horsepower. And a lot of improvements, a lot of technology has entered it. Don't do this. We got a guy that apparently thinks his elbow's more important for that helmet than his head. So, but notice they're wearing shorts. You don't want to do that either. You need to wear a helmet, long pants, boots, and I use earplugs because when I've ridden long distances, my ears will be ringing at the end of a ride. That's not good. not good at all. And I've got the hearing difficulties now to prove it. So gloves, lots of protection. And I left one out. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, well. I think we got, like leather jackets. That's a good thing, too. So, all right. And if you want to get into motorcycling, there is a motorcycle safety course. They will provide you with a motorcycle if you need it, or you can bring your own if you've already got one. This will get you an insurance discount if you do the motorcycle safety course, so I highly recommend that. And guess what? We now have electric motorcycles. That is called the Harley-Davidson Live Wire. And in fact, our very own Stephanie Reed from Oasis, she's got an electric motorcycle. So we're already participating. They're very quiet, which is unusual for motorcycles, of course. And zero emissions. So yeah, that's the Harley-Davidson version, but there are other ones. And anybody recognize this guy? Ewan McGregor, I believe, playing Obi-Wan, a young Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Okay. Well, guess what? On my way down to South America, I met him at a border crossing. That's him sitting on a Harley-Davidson Live Wire. They did a promotion. Harley-Davidson did a promotion, and I think you can find it on Apple TV or something like that. And it's called Long Way Up. And I got to meet him, got to shake his hand, and it was quite an exciting thing for me. And motorcycles in society and culture. Well, in some parts of the world, they're basic transportation. Look at this family of four. Husband not there, but yeah, that's not uncommon at all in Vietnam to see a whole family and all the kids on a motorcycle. So when you get into motorcycling, because it is, again, it's a recreational deal with lots of clubs and subcultures. Personally, I just like riding the motorcycle. I'm not into being the biker and the whole biker image and things like that. That's not that important to me, but they're just a lot of fun, and I love them. So here's me in the Atacama Desert with a sculpture coming out of the desert. So raise your hand if you have questions. Let me see, yeah, back here.
What are your feelings on the the change in the law, the changes in helmet laws in Missouri and Kansas?
I always recommend wearing a helmet, but I'm actually opposed to helmet laws. There might be an occasion where I might want to take a little spin at slow speed somewhere without a helmet. So that to me is a little intrusive, so I'm not a big fan of helmet laws, but I pretty much always have a helmet on. And the helmet you saw on my motorcycle, it wasn't cheap. They always ask you when you're pricing helmets and you're trying to get a cheap helmet, how much is your brain worth? That's what it really comes down to. Any more questions?
Why do so many motorcyclists not wear helmets?
I'm sorry, again?
Why do so many motorcyclists not wear helmets?
It's all about the image. You know, they I don't know. They just want to show you what badasses they are, I guess. That would be, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
So I've heard that electric cars have less problems maintenance-wise. So would that also be the case with an electric motorcycle?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. You don't have to change the oil on an electric car or motorcycle. Actually, you kind of brought up a good point, and we'll get to your question. As far as the practicality of motorcycles, and I explained that when the price of a Model T got down so low, it turned them into recreational vehicles. I started riding my first motorcycle. It wasn't. I'd ridden other friends' motorcycles, but it was a Kawasaki 900, and at the time that was the quickest accelerating motorcycle you could buy, and I like to enjoy that. But rear tire wore out every 5,000 miles. They cost almost as much as the car tire. The front tire maybe lasts 10. Chains might last 10. Batteries. So, yeah, it got okay gas mileage, 40 miles to the gallon, but a Prius will beat that now. And so the maintenance for that bike really did not make it all that practical, but didn't matter. I loved riding it, enjoyed riding it, so I did it anyway. But the one I showed here of the family, with the 3 kids and the mom riding that was like a Honda 50 cc. So that's way smaller than the one I had. So that is practical transportation in that part of the world. I don't think they typically have many horses in Vietnam, but so as far as daily transportation, you want to go with a smaller bike if that's really what you're trying to do, is save some money, something like 250 cc's or less. So yeah, go ahead.
Are there any particular type of pants you would recommend wearing, or can it just be any long pants?
Actually, you can get complete leather outfits, and there's nothing better than leather than for protecting you if you go down. They also make Kevlar jeans. They look just like these. They're faded and everything else, but they got Kevlar, and you won't wear through them. Those are good for protecting you from the kind of road rash that I've experienced more than once. So, got a question? No, go ahead.
Oh, I got a couple.
Yeah.
You kind of answered it, but how did you first learn to ride, and how old were you?
I would have been about, I'm going to say 12 or 13 years old, and it was on a dirt bike, off-road. Just take it out to a field or something like that, and someone lets you ride it. And it's a little interesting because you got a clutch to manage, and now instead of you're pedaling like a bicycle, and when you're going to push down, when's that clutch going to engage? You're doing this to get used to it. But I worked up. Well, what was interesting, motorcycles have a very high power to weight ratio. They're lightweight, and you can put these high horsepower engines. But the first ones I rode were like Honda 100s, and you got wide open throttle all the time. They're just not a big, powerful bike. First time I got on a really fast motorcycle, a Suzuki 500 Titan, I just did the usual wide open throttle, and it just straightened my arms out, and it pulled the throttle on. I was like, am I going to be able to hold on to this thing and actually back off the throttle? So you got to be ready for that. But yeah, I got to ride a lot of friends' motorcycles, so I was pretty well practiced before I got mine. So yeah.
Sorry, this is weird. In America, you said that motorcycles are recreational, but in Vietnam and South America, they're the main source of transportation.
They are.
Why are they the main source of transportation?
Well, it's just because of the price of them, and typically the typical South American motorcycle, the one I rode down, it was 650 cc single cylinder. But the typical motorcycle in South America that people are riding, probably 250 cc or less. So they're pretty economical. They actually still ride two-stroke cycle engines, and if you don't know what that means, a two-stroke, you have to mix gasoline with the fuel. You have to mix oil with the gasoline to keep it lubricated. They actually have gas pumps at stations in some of these places that will dispense pre-mixed fuel. It's already got the oil mixed in with it. I've never heard of that, never seen that before, so that was a surprise. But yeah, when you get small, they are practical. They are compared to the 900 cc bike that I had. So, any more? Oh, gosh.
What's the difference with so many electric scooters around? What's the difference between a scooter and a motorcycle?
Generally, a scooter is something you can step through. There's no tank sitting right here. So, and that's what they call them. They call them step-throughs. So you just got the seat, and then all the space between your seat and the handlebars is wide open. So that's your typical scooter.
Hi. For the first slide that you present, the lady that
The
climbs...
Roper steam one?
Yes, the wheel, I noticed it was very thick or very big, and I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about that climbing the rocks with the motorcycle and the wheels, the kind of wheels and what pressure do they need?
Let's see here.
How can they not break, with all those rocks and
Well,
things like that?
one of the things is, unlike the woman who was riding the bike through the boulders, they weren't that powerful. This one, is it to the one to the left here or this one?
Well, no, I was talking about the one in Barcelona, but I also had a question about the origin of the motorcycle because I saw that German kind of Benz. So it's a German origin, the motorcycle? Let's start with that question.
Both of these are German, the Daimler Reitwagen. Actually, technically, this one's got like permanent training wheels right here. So is it really a motorcycle? I don't know, but they are wooden wheels. But it's a very low power engine. I doubt if that thing could go 10 miles an hour. So, the wheels could hold up for that. So,
But then going to the lady in Barcelona, that motorcycle that she had, it has like wheels like this wide, I think.
Right.
And what kind of material does it has that it can take so many impacts of rocks and things like that without blowing up?
They're managing that with the air pressure in the tire, and they're just made to take it. They're designed that motorcycle. That's about the only thing it's any good for, is that kind of riding up and down boulders, things like that, the power delivery, things like that. So, now, did you notice I mentioned Bertha Benz, who took the first long distance car ride, and then there was a lady that did the champion trials rider, and then Itchy Boots. 3 women who make history in motorcycles. You see what I did there? So. All right, let's go for. So I think that's all the questions, right? All right, let me get you back to where you can take over here. But I really do recommend you watch one of Itchy Boots' videos. They're just amazing. She's just adorable and really interesting. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So proud of everyone. I would have been asking so many questions about you and McGregor. All right. So while our musicians are coming back to the stage, I want to remind everyone that Kansas City Oasis is a 501c3 nonprofit run solely on donations and volunteers. If you like the topics and music today, please consider donating through kcoasis.org or /donate or by Venmo. Recurring monthly donations are most helpful. And yeah, with that, let's welcome back to the stage Strawberry for one last song.
So my partner Lawrence is joining me for this last song. And this song is called The Nothing. And we wrote it about our favorite comic. It's a sci-fi, but also about love and trauma and how it feels to kind of break out of a dissociative state because you're actually feeling things again. So, yeah.
'cause I care too much and I feel too strong. So I just shut myself away into the nothing. But you make me feel like I'm real and strong enough, ooh, to feel. So I don't shut myself away into the nothing. I haven't felt safe for as long as I can remember, but your smile broke my walls that I've had up for so long. You were a ghost that I thought I created, but you took my hand and you brought me back to your world. But I care too much and I feel too strong. So I just shut myself away into the nothing. But you make me feel like I'm real and strong enough, ooh, to feel. So I don't shut myself away into the nothing. Please don't close your mind, 'cause I can see your flavor inside. And please come home to me, 'cause I know there's still time. And don't give in to the nothing, 'cause I know you're alive. But I care too much and I feel too strong. So I just shut myself away into the nothing. But you make me feel like I'm real and strong enough, ooh, to feel. So I don't shut myself away into the nothing.
Thank you. So again, my name is Strawberry. On Instagram, that's Strawberry and Bees. And the family just reached out to me actually and said that they have updated their GoFundMe link. So the correct GoFundMe link is the one that is in my bio. So if you go to my Instagram page and go to my bio, that is there. Unfortunately, I don't have a QR code for the updated one yet, but I will probably get one at some point. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone got that it's no longer this QR code, right? It's the one if you go to the link. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And I can send you all that, so for anybody who doesn't have Instagram but does have Facebook or some other way to contact, I will give you guys that link as well.
Gotcha, gotcha. And I'm sorry, Jason, what were you saying? That one is live? Okay, okay. So that one is live, okay.
It's just they updated the link as of like literally just now, a few minutes ago. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Appreciate the
Thank you so
update. All right. Well, thank you so much again. Guys, we thank Strawberry one more time. And then, of course, if you want to continue the conversation, join us for lunch. And today we're going to continue at Tower Tavern at 401 East 31st Street, Kansas City, MO, right here. And then notes for next week, August 3rd, we will hear from Patty Pruitt, who spent 38 and a half years in prison for a crime she didn't commit. Our musician will be Laura Boat and Community Moment from Glenn Saxton. And then, before you head to lunch, please take a few minutes to help clean up. There are many volunteer opportunities for Oasis each week. Please see the tasks in the lobby marked Need Help, as we discussed earlier. We want to thank again this week's presenters, Gary and Julie. I think we lost Julie. Did we lose Julie? Okay, well, thank you, Gary. Yeah, she was so very tired. And our musicians, Strawberry and Lawrence, and I can keep thanking them, guys. And thank you guys for being here and for tuning in online. And yeah. Oh yeah, and cleaning up also starts with checking under your chairs. So be sure to do that unless you want the Fringe Festival to find out all your secrets in your purse or something. All right. Yeah. Oh, nope, where we go? Where is it? There we go, now, all right. Have an awesome day.